Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another live stream. And it was a depressing, terrible afternoon at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea as they lost 1-0 to league leaders Arsenal. Third win in a row for Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. The Blues remaining in 7th in the table and now 13 points behind Arsenal. Everything about today's performance was awful. From the first minute to the last minute, we were second in every department. No desire, no passion, spineless, no ideas. Players looked awful. Didn't look like they knew what they were doing. Substitutions were late, too reactionary rather than proactive. It was a complete disaster, and it just goes to show how far off we really are at the moment. You know, that the fact that a team like Arsenal have been a banter club for years that we used to always beat, and now they're miles clear of us at the moment, and it's going to be a real struggle to make the top four this season. It really, really is. I don't really know where we go from here. Yes, Potter's got to take some of the blame today for sure, but this is not all on the manager. This is on the players as well. Really fucking awful from so many of them today, and we'll get into it in a bit more detail. I don't really know what else to say at the moment, but Pys, thanks for coming, bro. You were at the game today, mate. What was the feeling inside the stadium? How was it? Because from watching at home, obviously it looked terrible, but the atmosphere seemed awful as well. I know the atmosphere's been awful at Stamford Bridge for a while now, but yeah, how bad was it today?
Pretty bad, to be honest. First thing I saw when I walked in, well, up Fulham Broadway steps was two guys with Man City scarves on. So I thought, that's fucking brilliant. It's a joke. Yeah, I mean, Stamford Bridge atmosphere has been poor for a while. But yeah, I mean, we was kind of singing back to what's embarrassing is we was kind of singing back to what Arsenal was singing to us instead of us singing to Arsenal or just singing in general, which is just embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, it's poor. The performance, absolutely spineless, no backbone, no nothing. It was just a real like empty feeling in my stomach the whole game. The first half was absolutely abysmal. Second balls absolutely non-existent. Energy absolutely non-existent. The attacks we did have, Havertz messed them up. So well done to him for that. Yeah, and Arsenal just outplayed us. To be honest, they played the ball around better. They played it fast. They knew who to pass to. They clearly had patterns getting out of the press, especially the times where we did try and press them. Yeah, a lot of players just played dog shit, and then. You know, it doesn't help when the manager comes out and says stupid comments after the game as well. Really do worry. I mean, I really do wonder what's going on in that dressing room right now because you can't actually believe that the players gave everything in that game. That was an absolutely disgusting performance. Literally disgusting.
Do you think he's almost saying that in not that he actually believes it, but you know, the classic manager thing to sort of say that to kind of protect the players as such? I don't know, but I would, if he genuinely thought that, I would be very concerned because it was probably our worst performance of the season. I know we got battered by Brighton 4-1 the previous weekend, but I thought this was worse. This was worse than Man United as well. It was just nothing. We didn't make Ramsdale make a single save. We didn't test him once. Like the best opportunities we had was when Aubameyang was in the middle and Havertz could have squared it to him for a decent opportunity. And yeah, he just overcooked it and it was fucking awful. Other than that, we did absolutely nothing all game. Arsenal passed through the midfield so easily. Mount and Loftus-Cheek were absolutely awful in there. The only midfielder that was good today is the one that gets criticised the most by Chelsea fans, and that was Jorginho. Jorginho was the only good midfield player today. Havertz was shit. Mount was shit. Aubameyang was shit. Sterling was shit. This is not good enough. You can't have so many players in the same team that are all shit. And how do you get it that collectively, you're going to get it occasionally, you're going to play and a couple of players will be shit. How can we have it at Chelsea when we play games and collectively every single person to a man is shit? Like that just doesn't happen. I just don't get it. I mean, what was the worst thing? I know there's a lot of things that were bad, but what was the most concerning thing for you from today? Because for me, as we know, complete lack of ideas at the top end of the pitch. I thought I know the midfield's awful, but that was really concerning today. I mean, how bad Mount and Loftus-Cheek were.
The most concerning thing is we just, the players hadn't, it's like they had no clue what to do. There was no okay, this is how we beat them sort of thing. Like I couldn't see it on the pitch. They were just playing football almost like because they had to play football. That's what it felt like. Like it was embarrassing. I couldn't see what we were trying to do. Like genuinely, I didn't know what we were trying to do. Half the players were asleep. Just like the amount of like the amount of energy Arsenal had compared to us was just disgusting. We had 4 days break for this game. I know it's not long, but it's longer than what we've got. You know, that's 4 whole days. You can even get them in for double training sessions. That's a lot of training sessions to put a game plan together to get a result at home. That's the most concerning thing is that what I just said there. We were at home and we produced that pile of shit at home in a London derby. Like this is honestly meaningless to these players. It means nothing. To the fans, it means everything. To these guys, it's like, oh, we'll just, you know, come and collect our wage again. You know, it's like we were just scared of them. We didn't attack. We didn't believe we could beat them, and that comes all the way from the manager. He sets the precedent, and then the players go out and do the job. Like you see it in his press conference. He's like, well, you know, we've got to understand we're Arsenal. All right, you know what? I'd love to fucking see us on Amazon Prime because I want to see what the fuck he says to them. Because I don't get it. I don't fucking understand what he says to them, mate. It's pathetic. You can't come out after the game and say, oh yeah, the players gave everything. Fucking bollocks, did they? They give literally 10%. 10%. I've seen some fucking amazing Chelsea performances where, you know, you feel like that siege mentality, like, you know, no one's beating us today. And even if they do beat us, like Liverpool in the cup finals, right? At least we fucking give it everything. At least we try. To a man, we were shocking. There's not one single worrying thing. It is the combination of 4, 5, 6, 7 things. And like as you said, how can you, like, fair enough, 2 or 3 players might be shit, but how can you, like, genuinely, like 7, 8 players were dog shit? How is that physically possible? I don't understand. Like, it's not possible. If you play for Chelsea, it's not possible. They're not fucking Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. I don't understand it, mate. It's not fucking possible. But actually, it is possible because it fucking happened.
It is. Well, I mean, well, we made it possible. I just don't know how it happens to us. I really don't. I don't really know what we do to rectify this, because we don't want to keep looking back on what's been there previously. But in terms of looking at this group of players now, I would say, other than maybe Thiago Silva and possibly Kovacic as well to an extent, obviously Reece James, none of these players out on the pitch look like they really want it, as in like they want to play for the club. They'll die for the badge. Like there's not that I don't look at any players really out, particularly today. No one out there today really would die for the badge, would do everything it takes to win. And that's a massive problem. When you've had the likes of JT, Drogba, Lampard, Ballack, Cech, Ashley Cole, all these guys, they die to win. You know, they do anything, and they'd be digging each other out on the pitch if people weren't pulling their weight or players weren't delivering. Look at it now. Players are playing shit. No one's having a go at each other. No one's demanding more from each other. And I think that's a massive problem. As much as Azpilicueta has been a legend, he's not really that sort of guy. And I think a lack of big characters in the dressing room is hurting us massively. Mate, do you think we're missing a lot of, you know, big characters on the pitch? Like when it gets tough, no one's there to sort of, you know, G the players up and try and like galvanize them, get them to push on, get them to push through.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a problem. We've had that for, you know, I can't remember how many times I've said this over the years, you know, 100%. Yeah, we've got a couple of experienced players in our team, but they're not, I don't know, not shouters, are they? Like Silva and Aspi aren't shouters. I do occasionally see Silva get angry, but it's not like, you know, yeah, especially in like the middle of the park. Like we got like, I don't know, I'm going to bring him up, but like someone like Declan Rice would just be that type, like that type of character. I could just see him in this game just being so pissed off that we were playing bad. Like I was just really disappointed in Mount today as well. Like this is a big game for him. Like if someone that fits for me would fit into that category of player that would die for the badge. I literally genuinely forgot he was on the pitch for like 60
didn't even
minutes.
Know. Yeah, didn't hardly notice him.
Actually, and he's playing it. By the way, we played in a 4 at the back today, like a 4-3-3. or like a false number 10. Havertz was,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. All right, and Mount in his preferred position was dog shit.
He was
He's
dog shit,
supposed to be better. He's supposed to be better in a number 8. Oh, don't play him right forward. Don't play him right wing. Well, he's not any better in fucking centre mid, is he? By this performance, you know what I mean? So like, come on, like there's just no one who grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. I cannot believe Kovacic didn't come on earlier. Okay, fair enough if he was not fit enough to start, whatever, because he just came back.
Should have been on at half time.
He should have been on, mate. He should have been on.
Should have been, yeah.
We've made changes way too late. The manager's all over the place. I've got to say it. Game to game, I don't have a fucking clue what we're going to do. I don't think the players do either.
No.
I feel sorry for him because he's got no time to work on things. But isn't that when you like lay a foundation like Tuchel did and play the same formation, like fucking build something for like, even if it's for like 3 or 4 games? You know, one game it's this, next game it's that, next game it's this, next game it's like, it doesn't work. You can't produce results that way.
But I think the biggest problem is that he doesn't know what his best team is. He doesn't know what the best team is. Like, I don't even think, like, you know, Chelsea fans like myself, yourself, like, do we really know what the best Chelsea 11 is right now? Like, what is the best Chelsea team? And I think that's like a massive problem because, you know, you would look at other teams, you know, the ones we're chasing, we're aspiring to you know, be like within the league and whatnot. You like Liverpool, obviously not right now. They've won 1 league or whatever, but they've been a top team. And obviously the standard City, you know exactly, you know, what their best team is, what the idea is, what the identity is, and how they're going to play. You don't know any of those things with Chelsea. You don't know what the best team is. You don't know what the identity is, and you've got no idea how we're going to play when we go out on the pitch. Those are 3 things that are a massive problem that have to be sorted at some point. But I mean, I don't know how we sort it out because yes, we're spending loads of money, but you know, we spent what 300-400 million in the last few years, and our best player has been a 38-year-old defender that we signed on a free transfer. What does that say for the other players that we've signed? Havertz, 70 million, shit. Werner was shit. He's gone now. Ziyech, shit. Sterling, all right, he's only just come, but he's been shit recently. Like, these are big money signings, and they've all been shit. Like, I don't really know. I don't know where we go from here in terms of how we fix this. But, mate, do you think we knew this was going to be a bit of a transition and perhaps a bit of a rebuild and whatnot? But are you surprised at how big this rebuild actually is looking like it's going to be?
Oh yeah, but the problem is like half those players you've just mentioned. Like, there's not, like, I can't remember a window. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is we don't remove enough of these individuals in a window.
Yeah.
And we don't, like, you know what I mean? And even if we do, I don't trust, like, the replacements to sort of, I don't know, be any better type thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's difficult with the signings because obviously when you sign them from abroad, they need to adapt. But the ready-made ones, like the Sterling and stuff, like I can't believe how bad he's been, man.
Should be doing better.
Can't even take a man on. Like, I don't care if you're not scoring or assisting every game. Show me something. You know what I mean? Like, you came here to be that guy. You know, you left for game
to be
time.
The main
like,
man.
He's playing on his fucking name at the moment. That's another thing I hate. Like, that doesn't do the dressing room any good either.
No.
You know, like, I don't know. I felt like he's been doing it a bit with Aubameyang and Broja recently. I feel like Broja should have started some more games. Like, throw some players in there that will actually want to prove a point. Like, I don't understand it. You stick with the same fucking shit that doesn't work.
I mean, you would have thought, today of all days that Aubameyang would be bang up for it. I've got to be honest. Look, I know he didn't get much service today. He just isn't it. I'm sorry. He just isn't it. He's not that guy. He's not the answer. If we've got to be honest with ourselves, in every department possible, it's a terrible signing. It was a ridiculous signing to make if we're being perfect.
But it was a signing that was bought for the manager they fucking sacked. Like, I don't know. Like, where's the fucking logic in that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's ludicrous.
Yeah, it is ludicrous. But if we're being honest, like, Aubameyang's been a great player, but this is a signing that just isn't going to work. Like, he's literally going to do this season, and then hopefully Nkunku comes. That should be done. It's virtually done, I think. And then we might get Rafa Leao, obviously top 4 dependent and whatnot. We look to bring others in. Aubameyang's really only going to be here for this season. Next season, he'll be phased out, or he could even be moved on. He just isn't the answer. And when you're looking at it with your centre forward options as Aubameyang, who's at the end of his career, and Broja, who's obviously he's raw and he's still young, with nothing in between, and no one else that looks like they can put the ball in the net at all. This is a big problem. It's a really big problem. But let's go to the system, the way we set up. Do you have any problems with how we set up today in terms of the back four, the three in the midfield, and the three up top? I mean, because for me personally, I was happy to go with that. I think in a preview, I was happy to go with the back four. I think it suited us more. I think the three in midfield looks better as well. What did you make of the selection of Mount and Loftus-Cheek as the 2-8s? Obviously, Cover, we presume, wasn't fit to start. Do you think with Cover not fit, do you think we could have maybe gone with Gallagher, or do you think he went with Ruben because of that, for that physicality factor?
Yeah, probably physicality and height. Look, I'll be honest, I didn't like the formation, but it kind of proved me wrong a little bit because I'm surprised with like how decent at times we defended, or like I don't know, like I don't feel like we got overly exposed, and I was expecting us to. It was just the opposite way round. Going forward, like playing a 4-3-3, that's like one of the most attacking formations you can play. Like, I was excited to see us go forward. I thought, we might actually get at them here with playing 2-8s and, actual wingers, and not being limited to playing the ball out wide to the wing backs. Like, I thought we might actually see something. But no, it was worse than the games where we did play three at the back. Like, what the fuck? Where's the logic in this? So not only can we look shit, or not only do we play shit in the three at the back, we also play shit in a 4-3-3. So we're fucked anyway. You know what I mean? So the formation doesn't matter. The players didn't have a clue what to do. They didn't know where to pass, what time to pass to, who to pass to. And when they did try, they just give the ball away. Yeah, Jorginho, Havertz. Jorginho hit one first time, which was terrible in the first half. Havertz gave the ball away about 50 times. Who was the others I remembered? There's fucking loads of Loftus-Cheek got caught on the ball and they nearly scored from it. Like, it's just, what the fuck? But the lineup, I mean, I don't know. I thought Gallagher off the bench thought he was actually all right, but again,
he brings energy. But
if he started, I would have been a bit worried.
Yeah.
So I can see why he played that. Again, Zakaria, I think on the face of it, losing now, it's easy to say, well, he should have started. Whatever.
He was never going to start.
I don't think he was ever going to start, but he's got to start against Man City. That's for sure. Surely he's going to play.
For sure. He has to.
See what he can do against the Premier League side, because then we'll get a true judgment. But again, like going forward, like Sterling, like it's just predictable. He's playing on his name because it's a big game.
Yeah,
I think done fuck all.
Pulisic. I mean, I'm not the biggest Pulisic fan. I've been very critical of him. Like you have as well. He's not always delivered, really, to be honest, when he's been at Chelsea. But when you've got players ahead of you playing so badly, he definitely deserves a run of games to start. Sterling's getting a run of games because he was the big signing in the summer and because of what he's done in his career. That's why he's getting a run of games at the moment. And Pulisic should be playing. And whether that's at the expense of Sterling, whether it's at the expense of Havertz, whoever it is at the moment, Pulisic should be staying. And I think it's not just a problem right now. It's been a problem for a long time for me that players are getting picked, as you say, on their name and what they've done in their career, not how they're playing right now. No player, no matter what you've done in your career or what your name is, has got a right to think they should be starting for Chelsea. They have to earn that right. And there's too many players that are just thinking they're going to play every week, and it doesn't matter how shit they play because of their name and because of what they've done in their career. And that just can't be allowed to happen. That has to change. You have to pick players on form. And if players who aren't necessarily the big name are on form, then they need to play. You play your players that are in form. You don't just play players because of what they've done, or you think, you might play them into form. You've got to pick it how players are playing. And at the moment, we just aren't doing that at the moment. It's as simple as that. And it's happened with loads of previous managers, and it's not just a Graham Potter thing. But I don't know. He's obviously not picking certain players because he feels that they don't offer enough, or they're not what he's looking for. But I mean, I don't know if it's
how do you physically watch Havertz and Sterling and go, they'll start next game? Like, what the fuck?
This is my point.
Like, it's dog shit, mate. It's fucking dog shit. You've seen enough of these bad performances from them. Have you not? You're right fucking there on the touchline. Like, Pulisic comes on. He got didn't he get 2 assists or something off the bench?
Yeah,
in the last like whatever.
he got the assist against Palace, and then he started against Wolves.
What
And he
more
scored,
does he
and
have to do?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
I
don't
agree.
get it.
I totally agree.
Zagreb comes on, unbelievable off the bench.
Yeah.
What do you have to do as a player? You might as well just leave. What's the point in trying at that point?
Well, this is the
Like,
thing.
if you
This
can
is
play
my
that well
point.
and you don't get rewarded, like what the fuck?
Yeah, no, mate, I totally agree. There's no sort of there's no sort of motivation to work hard in training, get your head down and whatnot. If the players in your position are playing shit and you still can't get a game, or you can't get much game time, like what is the point? As you say, when you see Sterling playing like that, when you see Havertz serving up disaster classes, and you're a Pulisic and you're thinking, how is it that I can't get any minutes when I've proven that when I've been given the opportunity to play, I can make a difference, and I'm doing more than these guys. I just don't get it. Like, players have got to be picked on how they're playing and not because of what they've done. You can't just hope you're going to play them into form. It doesn't work like that. Maybe with one player you can do that, but you can't do that with 3 or 4, 5, 6 players, which at the moment no one's really in good form for us at all. I think things have got to change. They have to change. But I mean, mate, how do you see us fixing this? Because we're 7th in the table right now. I mean, we've taken 2 points from the last 12 available. Today was awful. What do you think we can do to change it? Because I look at it and I think with the personnel we've got available, the systems we've tried, there's not really. I don't know. There's an awful lot more we can do, and that's really worrying.
Just go back to basics. Work on a formation. Work on a system, and just stick to it for a few games. Grind out results if you have to. Like, you're talking about the short term, how Chelsea fans want to see short term results. Like, but yet he's still freestyling tactics every game. Like, I can't get my head around it. Like, just pick something consistent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then just, as you said, reward players who are playing well on merit. I guarantee you, right, if Sterling plays shit against Man City, because he's going to play because it's his old club, if he plays shit against Man City in the cup, he'll start against Newcastle. If Mount plays shit, he'll start against Newcastle. If Pulisic or Broja plays well, whatever, in the cup, they won't start against Newcastle. It's all wrong. You can't.
Yeah.
It's Zakaria as well. He won't start against Newcastle. You can't have a squad like that. It's literally pointless having those players otherwise.
Yeah, there's no point. There is no point having a squad if you're not going to use it and you're not going to reward players that deserve to play. That's one big thing that's got to change. But I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on a forward line at the moment? Because we all got a bit excited because Aubameyang got 3 goals in 3 games. But if we're being perfectly honest, the forward line is still shocking. And look at all the money we've spent there, the options we've got there. Aubameyang, Broja, Sterling, Havertz, Mount maybe. I mean, Ziyech is still a Chelsea player, but he's not really, is he? Let's be honest. Look at those options, and it doesn't really, none of those names really excite me. And we spent so much money of them, and none of them seem to really be it. All right, Sterling is a little bit early, but the others, it's certainly not. None of those guys seem to be it, really. Oh, and obviously, Broja is still young, but how do we sort out our goal scoring issues? Because it's 2 goals in the last 4 games, and one of them was a penalty against United, and one we got a consolation against Brighton. These attacking issues aren't going. They're not going away.
Ask the guy who's employed for 12 million a year. I don't know how to fix it. Like, genuinely, it's just embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't even get a new manager bouncing performances. Maybe some results. Yeah, we went unbeaten for a little bit, but we had a couple of draws. You know, it's just fucking dog shit. Honestly, I just can't be arsed with it. I don't know why I put myself through it every week. It's just, I get my hopes up, and I don't know, maybe I should be happy. I mean, yesterday on Lauren's stream, I said 3-1 Arsenal. It was only 1-0, so maybe I shouldn't be so pissed off.
I think the only positive today, and you know how bad a day it is, the only positive from today is that we only lost 1-0. I mean, it could have been so much worse. In terms of the goal itself, what did you make of it? It's terrible defending from a corner, and I don't think we've conceded a few goals from set pieces this season. Not loads, but we have conceded a few. I think West Ham was one of them. The marking was terrible. I mean, what did you make of it all? Because I don't know if you've seen the clip back, but Cucurella is kind of just holding on to Xhaka and not really doing anything. Mendy maybe at fault a little bit. I mean, what are your thoughts on the goal and the defending?
I'm absolutely sick of that fucking same corner every single time. That side, the right side of that fucking the second half, right? The shed end, we've conceded to West Ham, Man United. Okay, not Man United because it was another set piece, but we're still around that same area. Today, Arsenal, Tottenham, and yeah, there's more going back because I've honestly every time we get a corner or they get a corner on that particular bit, I just know it's a goal straight away. I don't know what it is. We can't defend that side. The other side seems a little bit better, the left-hand side, but the right-hand side, I'm telling you, they need to be on that fucking pitch and practicing that particular corner, defending it because they don't have a clue. Anthony Barry was getting up, fucking. I found it hilarious. He was pointing instructions. None of them were fucking looking at him. They don't give a shit. Like it's ridiculous. They even need to that honestly needs to sort that out or sack the guy that's in charge for doing it.
Yeah,
I think is Anthony Barry. It's literally pathetic. Stop the zonal marking bullshit as well. Loads of times today where Saliba was free in the box, especially in the first half, the corners which were near me. I think what the fuck? No one was picking up the tallest player. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was on some midget. I think what the fuck's going on? It doesn't make any sense.
It
corners are like penalties, bro. We can't fucking defend them. We're awful.
I mean, it was terrible today. It was so shit that defending. I mean, is it? I don't know if it's an excuse or not, but do you think things could have been any different? I know we're missing Kante, Fofana, Reece James, to name a few. Obviously, Chile as well. Now we're missing a lot of key players. I mean, that's obviously not going to help us. But you shouldn't be turning in a performance like that, regardless, without them playing. It's not helping missing key players. Do you think that's a fair excuse for Potter? Do you think it's a legitimate reason?
Not an excuse at all. We've got a good enough squad to be playing way better than we are. With you know what I mean? Like Reece James and Kante, massive loss. But let's not act like Kante's some.
No, he's not been here
for like new missile all of a sudden. He's hardly fucking played the last 3 years. So
yeah,
he's almost you can just forget about him now. James, and even when Kante did come back, he only played for 2 games. He got injured again, so he's not even really in the discussion. He can be with Ziyech as far as I'm concerned. As much as I love him, because I do, but it's literally ridiculous the last few seasons. James is obviously a massive miss, but like again, you can't rely on your fucking right back to be your most important and creative, most creative player. I don't get it. Koulibaly was on the bench. Fofana's injured, but again, he's a young centre back, and Chalobah's been playing well anyway.
Yeah.
Who else are we missing? I mean, Chilwell doesn't start anyway, so it's not like it's only really Kante and Reece James, and obviously they're 2 massive players, but one never plays anyway, and Reece James obviously is a massive miss, but it doesn't excuse him. Like us relying on him for that importance anyway, and 2, us playing this badly without him. You shouldn't have to have a right back to play functional football. Like
it is mad how you take a right wing back out of our team, albeit a top player, and yet the whole team seems to fall apart, or the team just doesn't function because we're missing one right wing back. We can't have that situation where if Reece James doesn't play, we're literally fucked and we're shit. And there's obviously no surprise for me that, all the games that he's been injured in, we've been shit. Yes, we beat Villa, but we didn't play well. Not good against Brentford, not good against United, not good against Brighton, not good against Arsenal. All games that he's not played in. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I'm not saying we would have won all those games if he'd played, but I certainly think we wouldn't be looking at 2 points from the last 12 if he'd been available for all these matches. But yeah, we just got to do the basics. We aren't even doing the basics. We can't string passes together. We're just getting cut open in the midfield. Teams just passing through us. It's not good at all. It's just a complete disaster at the moment. It's really tough. Mate, are you worried about the top four at the moment? Because that now leaves us in 7th, and that's 13 points behind Arsenal. Even with the World Cup, which might disrupt momentum, Arsenal will have a bit of a drop off. But 13 points is a lot of points to overturn. I mean, it could be safe to say that we
You
probably
can
are.
forget about Arsenal.
We're going to finish behind
We need
Arsenal.
to look at. Of course, we will. We'll be
Newcastle.
We
need to look at Newcastle.
We need to look at Newcastle. We need to look at Man U's results. Fuck, they lost today.
And Spurs lost today as well. That was a big
Spurs,
relief as well.
but they're still like 6 points ahead of us. Like, the thing is, like, there's a lot of football to play and a lot of points to be dropped and gained. Like, we can still, like, if we go on a run, like, if we win 3 games in a row, picture looks completely different if others drop points. But where can you see that coming from? We're just so shit. Like, we just have to face reality. Like, I genuinely, I just never realised we were this shit. We are. Honestly, we've just got it's acceptance. It's acceptance.
Yeah. But I think we have to realise that we're shit and then accept it and try and push on and get through it. I mean, I know we've talked.
That's
about
the thing.
this,
people don't want to accept it because
exactly.
you'll get the game like like we might beat Man City. Just say we beat Man City in the Carabao Cup.
But doesn't mean everything's all right.
We will 100% lose to Newcastle. I'm telling you now. I would literally, honestly, I'd do some unspeakable things if we won the next 2 games before the World Cup.
Mate, if we won the next 2 games, if we even scored in the next 2 games, I'd be delighted.
If we made 3 passes, it was that bad today. I was trying to count the passes we made. I think I got up to on a couple of attacks. Yeah, I think we made I think the one down to Havertz in the first half, there was probably one into Aspi. Aspi played it down the line and then a cross. That was 2 or 3. But genuinely, I can't remember too many times where we strung 2 passes together, unless we were playing it around the back.
And that's
it's
pathetic.
Awful.
You can't do that at this level.
You can't let the team go into a game this unprepared. Like, they literally looked like they had no clue what they were doing.
No, they didn't. And this is the top of the league coming to the ground as well. It's the top of the league coming. It's a London derby.
It's mentality Arsenal, at all.
And yet we didn't even turn up at all. One thing you could say is that in the bigger games, we generally tend to turn up. And yet in this game, we were nowhere. We didn't turn up against United. We didn't turn up in this game. It's been a disaster. But yeah, the manager for sure. I'm not blaming the manager. This is not on Potter. Potter needs time. It's clear. He's not had a pre-season. He's not had a chance to bring the players in that he wants to bring in. He will obviously be backed. Yes, you could question some of the tactics at certain times, and that's absolutely fine. But ultimately, the players have got to shoulder a lot of responsibility here. They just aren't delivering on a consistent basis, and too many players just are going through the motions. They don't care. They don't look like they want to be. They don't know. They don't look like they know what they're doing. And it's a big problem. So whilst the manager, shouldn't be getting away with no blame at all, this is not on him. How much more can we really expect from him with the personnel available? How much better can it really be? Yes, it should be better than what we saw today, but I don't think it can be like a lot better than what we've seen. I mean, have we really, if we're being honest, have we actually played well under Potter? Just in general, I don't think we have. How many times, even with Tuchel here, how many times this season have we actually played well? I think you can probably. I think you can count it on less than one hand how many times you've actually played well this season in the league. Hardly any. So to expect things to suddenly change because a new manager's come in when you've got the same players, I think it's asking a bit much, personally. And I think he does need the time. I hope he gets the time, because otherwise it just makes a mockery of appointing him on a 5-year contract and him being a project manager or whatnot. But yeah, things have to change. Things have to change, but it's going to take time, mate. How people aren't prepared to change their expectations, because for us, we've grown up in an era with Chelsea always winning stuff. It's obviously not always been like that, but do you think people now are going to have to accept that, we're not actually that good, and it's going to take time for us to get back to where we want to be?
Yeah, but I think again, if the manager, like for me, the most concerning thing is some of his comments. Like, it's like he's already like given up on this season, like because he always mentions the future and like this is where we want to be, and this like just focus on now because otherwise, if you don't, you're never going to get anywhere in the fucking first place. If you don't
Yeah.
produce this season, don't worry about next season in the summer. Just worry about the next game. That's what top coaches do.
Yeah.
Constantly going on about fucking this and that, and this is where look at where Arsenal are at. Look how much time they've had. I don't give a fuck. It's a one-off game. We can beat them. They're not Barcelona, prime Barcelona, prime Real Madrid. They're not unbeatable.
I think what
you know
I think
what I mean. It's pathetic, mate.
I think the
United
biggest problem,
fucking beat them. United beat them.
Do you know what the biggest? I think for me the biggest problem was you can lose matches, of course you can. The biggest problem for me was, let's say, the performance. It was terrible. That was worse for me than the result. You can lose matches, but to lose in that way in a London derby in a massive game. That's one. We used to batter Arsenal all the time. We've beaten them once in the last 7 games now, and they've beaten us 3 times. The last 3 years on the spin, they've beaten us at Stamford Bridge. It's a joke.
I'll send you something later as well. Our big 6 or top 6 record before and after Hazard left will literally make you want to shoot yourself.
Mate, our top. I mean, I can't. I'll have a look at it later. But yeah, I mean, I can't remember us beating the top 6 teams that often. I mean, I think we beat City last season. Yeah, I mean, look, there's. I don't know, but that is a concern as well. But I mean, let's get into some player ratings, guys. By the way, big up everyone in the chat. I will get to those comments as they come in. Please do keep smashing the likes on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Heading towards that 2K mark, almost there now, guys. So there's plenty of you in here, and I'm sure there's ones of you that haven't subscribed. So please do click that subscribe button. It does really help me out. And also get involved in the ratings in the chat if you want to as well. Mate, Mendy, I thought he was okay. He made a couple of half-decent saves today. But the problem for me is I just feel so nervous when he's on the ball. I didn't think he had an awful game, but he doesn't fill me with confidence when he's got the ball at his feet at the moment. He just really doesn't. Could he have done better for the goal? Maybe. But what were your thoughts on him?
Probably give him like a 6. I thought it was a lot better than he's been playing. Like especially the one where he came out and collected the ball. I thought, oh fuck, he might give a penalty away. He came charging out, but it was a good read from him. There was one time in the first half where he nearly lost the ball and literally the Matthew Harding went absolutely mental at him. And it was funny because I swear he heard us all because the next time he came back to him, he just booted it long first time. And everyone sort of like went like sarcastically like, way, like fucking, he actually booted it long. So, he's getting the treatment from the fans as well. But I do agree, his distribution's obviously not good. It is what it is. But I thought, he played okay again. Didn't have too many shots. The corner seems like a bit of a scrappy one. It just kind of, I don't know. I'd give him a 6.
It's such a bad goal to concede. Yeah, he wasn't terrible today. As I say, distribution not great. Needs to work on it. He's a bit nervy. I feel nervy when he's on the ball. But yeah, no, he wasn't bad awful today at all. Let's get to the centre backs then. Let's go with Chalobah. For me, fully deserved to keep his place in the side over Koulibaly for sure. That's not really a debate right now. I thought he had another decent game. I can't remember too many occasions where he got sort of done or he messed up or anything like that. I just felt not his absolute best today, but I thought he had a good game regardless. How did you see it, mate?
Yeah, I thought he played all right. Again, probably another average 6. I don't think he got beat too much, but
no.
It's just, I think obviously as I said to you earlier, like I think the defense wasn't the biggest of problems.
No, it wasn't.
Apart from maybe Cucurella, but it was just going forward that will be the very low ratings.
Yeah. Thiago Silva, mate, I just wanted to ask you about it. I'm not going to bring it up on the screen. Have you seen Matt Law's tweet about Silva?
Oh, I've already replied to him. Blokes have. Don't give me.
Yeah, think that's nonsense.
He's tweeted that before his own. Like he's an Aston Villa fan. They've beat Man U, and he decided to tweet out Thiago Silva. How about you tweet about fucking Mount or Loftus Cheek for once, or any Havertz? Anyone else that played shit? No, you come from a 38-year-old who's been literally unbelievable for us. Like, shut up. What an absolute clown, honestly. Fucking joke, mate. Absolute joke.
I mean, I don't think he looks past his peak at all. Yeah, you know, he's looked tired on a few occasions, and it's been, you know, he's made a couple mistakes. But you know, to say he's looking past his best, I think is a little bit harsh. And
would you fucking blame him if he did? He's 38, playing 3 games a week or 2 games a week.
You wouldn't.
You know, in a back four, he's exposed some more 1v1 situations. I think he got beat like once or twice by Jesus, but you know, he made a couple of good tackles. The block in the first half from Jesus' shot was unbelievable. Like, what's he on about? I swear these journalists I swear they just want to be edgy, like, for the sake of it. Like, he even said this is going to be an unpopular tweet. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Mate,
like,
it creates engagement, doesn't it? Yeah.
Fucking tweet about Aston Villa, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, but anyway, what did you make of Silva? A good block from obviously from Jesus. Other than that, to be honest, mate, I didn't think he was as good as Chalobah today, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think, mate, some people were saying he was at fault for the goal as well. Did he give possession away? Some people even said it was a foul. I couldn't really see it.
Mate, I can't. To be honest, mate, I've tried to erase a lot of the game from my memory.
Yeah, I
can't remember, but I don't think he was good at. I don't think he was as good as Chalobah today. I mean, I'd probably say he was slightly below average. I think a 5. I'd go with a 5.5 for him. But I mean, he wasn't terrible. But again, another problem is the fact that we're so reliant on a 38-year-old is another big concern as well. But you know, we might get one more year out of him. He certainly won't play every year. Yes,
Fofana needs to hurry up and come back.
Get what Laura's saying though, right? I don't think he was slagging Silva off or saying he's the big problem. Just meant that by his usual high standards, he's struggled more recently. And he thinks that's true, mate. Do you think he has struggled a bit more recently? In terms of
what he's...
Sorry, mate. Do you think Lauren's just saying that he's kind of thinks that it's true that Silva has struggled a little bit recently?
Well, I think he's made a couple of errors. I think the Salzburg one was obviously a poor tackle. The one at home, his first ever game.
Yeah.
And then obviously he had a bad game against Brighton. But like he was saying, he's past his peak. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's been unbelievable for us. Like, if Silva starts 8 games, he might have one dodgy game, or 2 at most. Like, he's so consistent. People don't apply context to his age. Like, I don't understand. The tweet was ridiculous, in my opinion. But there you go. I just said, like, I don't know if it's true, but apparently Mount has got like 4 goals in 60 games against the top 6. But you won't fucking see him tweeting about him because he's this little fucking, you know, cuddled up English star. Like, he doesn't tweet about, you know, like any English players or, you know, because they're all protected by the media. He doesn't tweet about Havertz. He doesn't tweet about fucking, I don't know, who else plays shit? He didn't tweet about Cucurella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless I'm wrong, but fucking hell. I don't like what even comes to your brain? Like, first off, your own club beats Man United, and second off, you watch that game and you take from that game, oh, I'm going to tweet about Thiago Silva. Like, shut the fuck up. What are you on about? Like, Aubameyang had 8 touches. Tweet about him. Sterling was shit. Tweet about him. No, I'll tweet about Thiago Silva. Only one of the best signings Chelsea have made in the last few years. Fucking clown, honestly.
Mate, he's our best signing. I mean, to be fair, he is past his peak in terms of like peak ages, but he's still performing to a high level for sure. But yeah,
that's what I mean. What's the point of him saying past his peak? His peak was like fucking 8 years ago. What's the point of him mentioning that? It doesn't mean like he still performs to a world class level for us. Or at least a near world class level. There's so many games where he's played world class. So many games.
Oh mate, he's been literally, mate. I think he's had 2 bad games for us. Really, that West Brom one, and there was another one where he was a bit shit, and I'd forgotten it. Possibly Brighton. Oh, there was another one, but it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that he's been superb for us. All in all, but yeah, I think a 5.5 probably fair. Let's move on to Azpilicueta. I've got to be honest, mate. I was worried when he was going to be up against the likes of Saka, Martinelli, and whatnot. And I didn't think he did that badly today. Yes, he got beaten on a few occasions. as you would expect. But I actually thought he defended quite well. Yes, he didn't offer an awful lot going forward. When he did get forward, the delivery let him down a little bit. But I actually don't think he wasn't as bad as I was expecting him to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he played pretty well today. I think, like, what was important was that he got tight all the time to Martinelli. I think that's like that was his experience coming in. There's a couple of times when Martinelli did roast him. I think that's expected, but no, I think he was actually. I mean, my brother said he was our best player today, and I can't really disagree with him. To be honest with you, I think he was.
To be fair, you look at it; it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's
He was the one really that kind of like. Yeah, he was the one really that kind of like stood out to us in terms of like, oh yeah, like there was so little good actions in the game, but like a couple came from him. And again, he did also say that like that's embarrassing though, because again, he's a fucking right back. So yeah, just goes to show how shit the rest of the team was. I'll give him like, to be honest, I'll probably give him a 7. To be honest, it's the highest rating I'm going to go. I think maybe.
I thought he was. Mate, I don't think he was that bad today, and it's and it's kind of I think a 7's fair. I thought he was pretty good today, compared to what people might have been expecting from him. Just a couple of things here. Silver is. Yeah, that is true, guys. Come on, let's get those likes up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Would really appreciate it. What else we got here? Let's have a look. For far, guys, hit the like button. Yeah, Aspie was definitely the best. Moving to Cucurella, mate. What was you make of him? Because I don't think he was awful. Okay, you could argue that the defending.
Second half, he was absolutely dog shit. First half,
he was okay. But I don't know. Where do you stand on him? Because he's coming for a bit of criticism. I've seen a few articles about him. He has struggled a little bit the last few games, but he hasn't really had a run at that sort of left back, left wing back position, which is his better position. The games where he's not performed well, he's been uncomfortable in that left centre back position. But what have you made of him in general? Because he started pretty well, and then he went to left centre back, and it's not looked great. So I think we've got to be fair and kind of give him a bit of a run in his better position, which he will now get because Chilwell's out, and kind of see what he can do.
I thought I thought he was a much better defender, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to get a much better defender. I still think he's shaky defensively. 1v1s, I think Saka in the first half, like Cucurella give a couple fouls away. One of them was debatable, but the first half he did okay. Keeping him quiet, he played pretty decent. But second half, Saka was just all over him, from what I can remember. Constantly beating him down the line, getting crosses in. So yeah, I don't think he was amazing, to be honest. I just thought he was a better defender, and going forward again, bro. Oh my god, there was one time where it came to the edge of the box. I think took the worst, most pathetic, pussy fluff shot, like a Havertz shot.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to the point I keep making. When Cucurella is not in the team, and Chilwell starts, I miss Cucurella for certain things. When Cucurella starts, I miss Chilwell for certain things. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking annoying. I don't know what rating to give him. I'll probably go a 5, to be honest. I don't think he was that great.
He wasn't that great. I don't know. I worry a little bit about his. I don't think his one-on-one defending's that good.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. When he stands someone up, I don't feel confident that he's going to win the tackle. He's not he's aggressive, but he often mistimes it, or by the time he goes in for the tackle, they're already skipped past him. They're kind of 2 steps ahead of him or 1 step ahead of him.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Saka had him, and a couple of times again, Cucurella was showing him on his left foot, and he cut in a couple of times. When he did go down the line, then he allowed him to come back on his left foot. I was thinking, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, man. I don't know.
I also don't know why there's someone in the chat keeps saying that we should have got Unai Emery. I mean, don't be ridiculous. Fucking hell. I mean, or Zidane. I mean, honestly, let's calm down here. Second, this 60 million thing's annoying as well, because he wasn't 60 million. He could be 60 million if the add-ons get hit. You can't judge a player after 10 or 11 Premier League games. Look, I think we just it's all right. It's an emotional game. It's hard not to be reactionary, but to be writing players off after such a small amount of games when they only just arrived in the summer, I think we just need to calm down a little bit. I don't think we have. I don't agree. I don't think we've been scammed by Brighton. We can have that conversation in a year's time, maybe. But come on, let's not overreact.
These guys gave fucking Werner a year and a half, bro, and we're still backing him. Fucking hell!
I know.
We want to just shit on Cucurella. Like, calm down, bro.
Mate, it's just on Cucurella after what 10 games.
Well, like, you guys don't. Do you guys not remember what we survived? Like,
mate, could you imagine it? Mate, imagine if we didn't have this guy now. What would we be doing? Chile would be out, and we'd have no left back.
Alonso, bro.
No, exactly.
Probably would have scored today, to be fair.
And the fact of the matter is, I'm not saying Pep gets it right all the time, but if Pep wants you, it generally means you're a pretty decent player. You know,
exactly,
Man City are interested in you.
It's not a bad thing to go by, is it? You know, I don't remember too many signings that City have not got something very, you know, at least a year or two. You know, even like, you know, when they signed that Ferran Torres, like he did bits for them for like
he was all right for them.
Even for like the first few months, they sold him because Barca bid a lot, but he was still decent for them. Like, I'm trying to think of like their signings that have.
Mate, they haven't. I can't remember the last time they made a shit signing.
Yeah, like that Kanji. Like I thought, you know, a lot of people on Twitter were saying he's absolute dog shit. He looks good.
Mate, he's fucking good, mate. It's really good for him. He looks a bit shaky at Dortmund, but he's suddenly gone to. Like, he's a good player. He's a good player. Right, let's move on to midfield, mate. Jorginho, we touched on him earlier. He was the best midfielder for me today. It wasn't great, but I mean, did you like what you saw from him? You know what you're going to get from Jorginho in terms of, you know what his limits are, what his limitations are. You know what he's good at. You know, he's good on. He's okay. He's quite good on the ball. He'll slow the play down. He'll dictate the play. What did you make of him today? I thought he was obviously our best midfielder, but it was quite a low bar, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I thought he was okay. I think there was some stat which I read that I was like, okay, I didn't notice that. It was like the most recoveries or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was great on the ball, to be honest with you. Especially in a game where we had no urgency. Like I'm looking at him as one of our leaders. Like I want him to, you know, kind of progress the ball a little bit, you know, and push us up the pitch and just play faster.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, again, there was a couple of times where I noticed, especially in the first half, there was one where the ball came to him. And he just like swung his foot at it and gave it straight back to Xhaka. I was like, what the fuck? Like it was like, honestly, it was like a 10-year-old was in midfield. But yeah, no, he was our best midfielder, but it's nothing great to go by. I'd probably
say maybe 5.5.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's go 5.5. Let's do that. Wasn't great. I mean, that's going to be the highest. What have we got here? Sarberto Carlos.
Obviously, the problem was with Jorginho as well. I've noticed a lot. They had a lot of, like, even though we played a midfield three, there was a lot of gaps in midfield, and there was times where Jorginho, mate, he was fucked. He could not, like, you could just tell. I know he's slow, but
he's not good on the transitions.
It was with the pace that Arsenal were passing the ball. It was like, geez, yeah, this ain't. He's
not good on the transitions at all. Nah. He really isn't.
We couldn't get anywhere near him. Every time our press was shit, but even the times where we did kind of, you know, give it a go, they still passed it. They still passed it very well and very smooth, and it was just 1-2 touch.
Yeah, you know? It was too easy. It was too easy for them to play through the lines. It was so easy for them. Let's move on to Loftus-Cheek. It's hard. Look, he wasn't good today, but I think we got to be honest that we sort of know that Ruben is a squad player. He's played well this season. This was a really big opportunity for him today, and he was awful.
It's number 8, man. I want him and Mount. I want more from them today. I want. You know, Ruben, when did he go on one of his runs? You know, he did nothing.
Nothing.
He was just, again, he looked really clumsy, really slow, just lazy. Like, no intensity there. Like, I'm going to grab the game by the scruff of my neck type thing. You know what I mean? Like, he can do that with his physicality and with his runs. We've seen that. There's no excuse for players like him and Mount. I'm sorry, but he should be relishing the chance today. Not playing in a pivot, not playing right wing back. He should have thought, "Fuck me, this is a fucking dream."
Mate, like, we've wanted to see Ruben play as an 8 so often. Like every time, we're like, if we just played the three in the middle with and have 2 number 8s, and that's Ruben's best position. Like we've been calling for it, and every time he plays holding midfield or right wing back, it's like, we want to see him there. He gets a big opportunity today, a London derby against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. just didn't turn up. Like all of them, just didn't turn up today. It's such a big missed opportunity for him. I mean, look, we know that he's not the sort of the best footballer in terms of like technically and ability wise, but he's certainly good enough to do a job and do a lot better than he did today. But I think it's obvious we just got a severe lack of technicians in midfield. I mean, other than Kovacic, we haven't got any technical players in the middle of the park. Zero.
Mate, our midfield without him is absolute dog shit. I've been saying it for time. I know I'm a fan of him, but there's a reason why I'm a fan of him. Because when we don't have him, we look like literal shit in midfield. Like literal shit. There's no look how many technicians Arsenal have. Like without Kovacic, our midfield is so fucking bland, so slow. No one picks up the ball and carries it. And then people have the audacity to tell me Kovacic is a dribble merchant. Yet these are the same ones that saying we don't go forward. What does fucking Kovacic do? He beats players in midfield and fucking makes us go forward. It helps, it's a part of the fucking midfield game. People are so thick, honestly. Honestly, it really pissed me off because I saw that on Twitter after today. Oh, Kovacic was a big miss. We didn't have anyone to, beat the press, dribble past anyone. Yet these are the same dickheads that slander him. I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. I just don't understand it at all. But the midfield's got there's
certain accounts, by the way. You know who you are.
Yeah, it's certain. It's certain. Also, like for me, it's sideways passing or backwards passing from number 8s. Come on, why? There's no one in that midfield, and even when Cover does play, he doesn't do it enough, and that's something that I would like to see more of from him. But there's no one that picks a pass in midfield. No one.
It's not only that though; it's his energy as well. Kovacic's energy and work rate is so underrated.
What I like. That's what I like from Gallagher as well.
Yeah, Gallagher's been good as well, but obviously he's not the same level technically as Kovacic. But Kovacic's work rate is fucking ridiculous. His heat maps are like Kante's. They're mental, mate. It's
he
massive.
covers a lot. He covers a lot of ground. But the big problem, as I say, no technicians in midfield. And then midfield also falls apart when Kovacic doesn't play. But there's no one in midfield that is picking a pass or playing a through ball, playing a ball over the top. I don't want to keep going on about it. We never ever replace Fabregas. Where is our midfield player that plays like Cesc? No one.
Where is our striker? Where is our left? Where is our Ashley Cole replacement?
Yeah,
mate, where is everything? This club doesn't.
Mate, you look at that midfield there today, right? Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Jorginho, and you think we used to have Ballack, Essien, Lampard, or we had Makaleli, Lampard, and Essien, or whatever it was. And now you look at it: Mount, Loftus-Cheek, and Jorginho. Mate, is there any wonder why we're so shit in there? Like all the money we've spent, and we didn't spend any money on midfield players. That's the biggest crime for me out of everything at the moment, is the fact that the most obvious area that needed reinvestment received no investment at all in the summer, and then received it way too late. In Zakaria, who has played once. It's criminal.
Some of that does come down to Tuchel though, because
it does for sure. He said he didn't need it. He said we didn't need it. Said we didn't need it. So as much as we've loved Tuchel and that, this part of it's his responsibility as well. He said we didn't need one when everyone knew we needed a midfield player, and now we're going to have to go and spend a fucking load of money to completely rip apart this midfield.
We've needed a proper defensive midfielder for years, and we also need someone that is on a similar level to Kovacic that can rotate with him.
I'll tell you what, mate, we haven't replaced Matic.
Oh, well, of course we haven't. That's another one. Yeah, we ain't signed a DM in years.
We haven't replaced Matic.
Rice is waiting there for us. And I know of course you don't pay 150 million, but if you have to spend a bag, it's one of the most important fucking positions. Look at all the league winners in the Premier League. They
Fabinho,
all have that.
Rodri,
Casemiro for Man U. He's been so good. I know they've not won the league, but still, my point stands. You don't as much as I love Jorginho, he's not the type of profile that transforms or revolutionizes a team. I'd love Jorginho to stay and rotate with the guy.
Squad option, yeah.
I think Jorginho's brilliant sometimes, but over a whole season, you need something else in there, man.
Yeah, you have to.
That's why we were all gassing Zakaria, because we've not seen that type of athleticism, power, and kind of tackling for fucking years. Years, bro. Years. Yeah. And that's come from a random player from Juventus. It's not hard. You just need to find the fucking profile. And if you have to spend a lot of money, do it because it's worth it. Midfield is the most important position on the pitch, in my opinion. Maybe goalie. But even sometimes with goalie, if you defend well enough, their underlying stats, they can, sort of be misleading sometimes. But the midfield, you can't get away from that position. That number 6 position is vital in the Premier League.
But if your midfield's not up to scratch, you'll get found out in this league, and we're getting found out at the moment because the midfield's not up to scratch. But mate, back to the rating for Ruben. I'll give him 2. I mean,
2, 3, something like that. Yeah. I'll probably go lower for Mount because just for me, he's got high
Mount was shit. Let's go 3. He was awful today. Such a disappointment as well.
Mount gets a 0 from me.
Mate, I'd give him he was dog shit. But someone that has been at this club all his life, all his career, playing in a deeper position, which by all accounts everyone wants to see him at, is more suited to him. This was fucking awful today. And
by the way, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether because he's playing a lot, but I thought his pressing was fucking awful today. I don't know what it is. He looked really tired. Like
it begs the question: why did he play in midweek?
Yeah, I was
in
thinking
a pointless
that.
game. Why did he play in midweek?
Yeah. He must be tired because he wasn't fully at it. Like his sprints were not like the Mount I know. You know what I mean?
Well, mate, watch him play on Wednesday as well.
Oh, he will. That's probably why I fucking took him off. Fuck's sake.
But yeah, mate, there was nothing from him at all today. Absolutely nothing. And having started the season badly, and then it's not just Mount who's getting slandered. Everyone's getting battered because they were all shit. But Mount, from what we expect to see from him for how good he is, that performance.
Mate, we ain't even got to the other ratings, mate. Chill out, bloody hell.
Mount was more disappointing than Ruben because of what we expect from Mount. You kind of know what you're going to expect from Ruben. You know where his ceiling is, and you know kind of like that's what he is. He's a squad player, whereas Mount is meant to be one of our better players, one of our best players, and yet this season, bar maybe 3 or 4 games, isn't turned up once, and that's got to change. But let's get onto Sterling. This might not be that much higher either. This was fucking awful today. I agree on the 0. This is the guy that wants to come in and be the main man, and is dropping performances like that. What is that? Honestly, what is that? Nothing. I mean, what did you tweeted something earlier? How many successful dribbles did Sterling complete today? Was it none?
1 out of 6, and his ground duels were 3 out of 13. He's fucking diabolical.
Yeah, that's fucking shit. How concerned are you by him briefly at the moment? Because
I think Lawrence is in there. Maybe you're starting to, win me over because he's.
To be fair, mate,
he's starting to frustrate me because I know I know there's a player in there. Clearly there is. He's done it for years, but he really is like his all-round performances just fucking stink, man. I'd love to ask him why he starts running and then stops and loses the ball.
Mate, you've got pace, man. Players on.
Look at Martinelli. Martinelli's fast. What does he do? He just runs at players. It causes chaos. It causes havoc. Sterling, I remember so many games, right, when I was at the Bridge, when he played for Man City, all he used to do on that left wing was do a Timo Werner and run down the fucking line. But he actually used to have some end product. What does he do for us? The complete opposite. He doesn't run at all. He doesn't take on anyone. He plays too safe. Like it's like anyone who joins us just turns into an absolute clown. Like literally.
Do you think he's suffering because he's not playing with as good of players? Part of the reason. I know he's not doing a lot of things well.
Yeah, of course his numbers are going to suffer. Yeah. But obviously he's not going to get made as many chances. But that doesn't excuse him dribbling into fucking
for sure.
White and all that shit. Like you've got to show you're actually a good player. Like fuck me, mate. He's one of England's most important players for the World Cup as well. Oh Jesus Christ! Honestly, if he starts playing well for England, I'm going to be so angry.
Well, mate, when it happened last time, he had a terrible season for City heading into the Euros, and then basically
if he starts dribbling for England, I'm going to be so angry. Honestly, I'll be more angry than I am now if he starts making dribbles.
I mean, to be fair, I honestly think, mate, I don't think Sterling should be starting any of the remaining 2 games before the World Cup. He shouldn't. He shouldn't. But yeah, I don't know. Let's move. He will. Let's move to Aubameyang. Mate, I was talking about this after the Brighton game, and I was chatting with people about it in the stands and when we were there. Mate, I don't like Aubameyang playing on the left. I don't know why all of a sudden Potter's started to do that. He came on the left against Brighton when he came off the bench, and he played left on the left against Zagreb. Why is he on the left again? For me, I know he's done it in his career and he cuts in, but when he uses his pace. But that was a few years ago now. This is Aubameyang at the end of his career. For me, we signed him, you put him in the box, and you provide him with a service, and he's still got a bit of finishing about him. He was awful today again as well. But why do you think Potter's sticking him on the left?
I have no idea. He's been doing it with Broja as well. Broja's been going on the wings. I'm fucking baffled. I don't know. The problem with Aubameyang is, and the problem with all our strikers is, we don't create enough chances consistently. It's a massive problem. And even though he was shit, it's like that Havertz one. I've watched the replay. He's literally there for a tap-in, and the game's completely different. And we're like, oh, Aubameyang's sick. I knew he'd deliver, that type of thing. It's a completely different conversation. But strikers literally live and die on chances. We literally create nothing for him. Nothing. We didn't it's ridiculous. And yeah, he's got to do more, of course. But the players around him, man, like, again, we played a 4-3-3 today, and I've never seen us fucking play so bad. So I don't know what rating to give him, because you could just go 0 because he did fuck all, but you could also just go like a 2 or a 3 because, like, what service did he really get?
He didn't get any service, no. But I don't know. I think we can maybe give him a 2. I mean, it was not all his fault because of a lack of service, but yeah, he still didn't offer anything. And here we go. Let's round it out with
a shit emoji. Put it on in.
Yeah, 8 touches the next Lukaku.
That's what I mean. Like, what the fuck? That just goes to show how little are. I think. Fuck it. I was looking at some of the other touches. They were really low as well. I wonder if get our own fucking box, mate.
I wonder if Sky are going to make a video of Aubameyang's 8 touches like I did with Lukaku. I wonder if they're gonna do that.
Fucking stupid. To be honest with you, like, with Aubameyang, I don't need to put my heart into it because I know he's not going to be here long.
Mate, I'll be surprised if he was here next season.
He won't be here. We didn't sign him for this manager, so like, what the fuck? It almost feels like he's not really a Chelsea player in some senses,
Yeah. I mean, it is true. I mean, Haaland's had minimal touches in certain games. I think there was one against Bournemouth where he had maybe 8 or 10 touches, but I think he got an assist, or he scored, or he did both. It's like, that's obviously it's different. It's different.
It's different because even look at the who did they play when they nearly drew, like, yesterday? Who did they play? Fulham, right? The goal he scored that was offside, he was just in the box. Someone put an absolute fucking beautiful ball into him, and he scored.
Yeah.
Right? They ain't doing that for, like, I'd love to. I wish we signed Haaland. I reckon he'd flop, honestly.
Mate, he wouldn't be scoring.
I don't see any striker succeeding it until we change the whole fucking attack.
I say this all the time. People say, imagine if we should have got Haaland. We should have just paid the money when we had the chance. He would be scoring loads of goals. Mate, Haaland would be scoring nowhere near as many goals in this Chelsea team as he is for City. There's no way Haaland would not be banging goals.
Haaland has more goals than Chelsea in the fucking Premier League.
Yeah, no, he does. They did. They said they said that on the comms. I was going to mention that earlier, but I forgot about it. Yeah, Haaland has got, I think, 19 in the league now.
Yeah, we're not down bad, everyone. We're not bad. Yeah,
we're not bad. Yeah, 19 in the league for Haaland. Jesus Christ! By the way, guys, almost 100 of us in here, so please do keep smashing the likes and please subscribe to the channel as well. I know there's people in here that haven't subscribed, so please do. Heading towards 2K subscribers, so please help me get there as quickly as possible. Would be really appreciated. But Havertz, mate, I'm just going to be. We said it so many times before. I've said it. He's shit, mate. I think I actually think he is shit. I just don't think he's a Chelsea player.
I can't do it with him anymore, mate. I literally can't go through this stage with him anymore where, like, he will score like a random screamer, like the away game in the Champions League. Oh, he's so good. Yeah. Fuck off. He's absolutely wank. He's been shit for ages. He's been shit for so fucking long. His performances are absolutely dreadful. I don't know how he's a footballer, honestly, sometimes. Some of the stuff he does,
offers nothing. I mean,
how can you hit a shot so shit? I thought Hudson-Odoi's shooting was shit. This guy's fucking even worse if he's shooting.
Yeah, it was terrible, mate. He was awful today, so bad. I mean, even the times when he did have the ball, that one where he could pull it back for Aubameyang, he smashes that. I don't know what he's doing, but he smashes it miles over. Like he just gets that completely wrong.
Honestly,
other times where he was on the ball outside the box one time, he just fell on his arse.
Werner didn't leave. We've just got the lanky version. He's still here, mate.
Mate, I've said it before, right?
I can't do it with him.
This guy, mate. I promise you, take away the Champions League final goal. This guy has been no better than Werner.
Werner literally has scored more goals than him. I swear in the Premier League.
Mate, Havertz is not it, and I just can't see how this changes for the rest of the season for Havertz. I just don't see how he does anything any better after the World Cup.
Another player who doesn't look like he fucking cares. Like I know sometimes he can like get away with like he's like nonchalant. That's just kind of how he looks, etc. But genuinely, when you're at the games like me, it's not that. He just generally doesn't try sometimes.
He's not it.
Like second balls and stuff, he just doesn't bother. It's like what the fuck.
He doesn't do anything, mate. I honestly think, mate, would you sell? I'd sell him in the summer. I really would.
Yeah, I'd sell him. I'd get 50 million back from him. Bye, fucking next attacker. I can't mate, we've got no time for these fuckers anymore. We need to start fucking progressing.
Yeah,
we can't keep, why stick with him?
He's not it. He's not it at all. He isn't it. Like he's not gonna. I'm gonna give him a -1 actually because he was just shit. I give him a -1.
Fucking give him a shit emoji.
But he's so bad. Like this is not the answer. You have to look at it. Like why did we buy him? Did we just buy him because it was an opportunity because of COVID and we had better finances than the other teams? I think that's the only reason we bought him was to stop someone else getting him. If you actually think about
it, was going to go to
Madrid possibly.
Madrid or was it Bayern Munich? I think.
Yeah, mate, one of those two. But they couldn't really afford him because of the COVID stuff, so we just kind of took him. Honestly, mate, there was no plan for him at all. Like
the same thing with Werner though, wasn't it? Was fucking Liverpool wanted him. Oh look, him
as well.
We've got the money. Let's just do it quick,
mate. I think he would have cooked at Liverpool as well. I think Werner could have been good at Liverpool. To be fair, probably would have been decent. But yeah, -1 for Havertz. He needs to be sold in the summer. He has to be sold. He was good at Leverkusen, but you get a lot more time on the ball in the Bundesliga. Defenders don't, it's not as physical. They don't, kind of step off and whatnot. This wasn't it today. It wasn't it. And he's shit. And as this comment says before we round out, I'm sick of people keep going on about he scored us a Champions League final goal. I don't care. That was great. But he didn't win us the Champions League.
Yeah, acting like Rudiger, Aspi.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
Who was the other fucking
Chilwell?
Maybe Chilwell. Yeah, acting like they didn't stop 3 certain tapping goals. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. He's not the one. He just isn't the one at all. Arsenal fan here. Oh, depressing for us. Raheem Sterling should not even be in the squad of England. Oh. I mean, he'll obviously be in the squad, but yeah, he's not doing it at all. But yeah, it was fucking awful today. Really shit. Terrible. Let's get rid of that screen. We move on to City Wednesday, Newcastle Saturday. The World Cup needs to come round fast because these last few matches have been terrible. It's 2 points from 12. 7th in the league.
Players gave everything though, apparently.
But the player, mate, if that's the players giving everything, we're in big trouble this season. we're in big trouble if that's them giving everything because that was absolutely disgraceful today. But yeah, seems like a good point to round out. Depressing day. We're shit at the moment. We have to accept we're shit, and we have to hope that maybe in these next 2 games we can pull something out of our arse and maybe we might go through in the next round, or we could beat Newcastle and we head into the World Cup on a win. Who knows? But it's not looking good at the moment. Pathetic today. Guys, thanks so much for getting involved in the chat. Really appreciate it. On your way out, please do smash the likes on the stream and please do subscribe to the channel. It takes you seconds and it really helps me out and means a lot. So please do that. Pys, thanks so much for your time, bro. Really appreciate it. As always, guys, if you're not following Pys on Twitter, then make sure you do. Linked in the description, all the latest Chelsea news and whatnot. So go and follow him and check out his website as well. Linked in the description. Loads of good Chelsea content on there. I will be back Yeah, probably. Oh, mate, we got the Champions League last 16 draw tomorrow as well. We'll get PSG. So that's another thing to look forward to. Forgotten about that. I'll be back tomorrow, possibly with some reaction to the Champions League last 16 draw. If not, be back on Tuesday for a preview to the City game. So until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care and up the Chels.